Hey, howdy howdy. We are doing a +9 siege pug. Here's a quick view of the talents if you want to pause it and take a look. And Disc Priest, I'm just going to do a little live commentary over it. It is fortified this week. This is the second week of M Plus being out. So we are going to play a little more carefully on these trash packs and be proactive about stuff. So right off the bat, I just immediately paints up the tank just to make sure he goes in nice and smooth. Accidentally did not stop casting there. Targeting this Enforcer because that's like the dangerous mob, so it helps me see when he's going to cast the AoE ability that does a lot of group-wide damage and interrupts all of our casting. Too bad. I'm going to go into this next one. And then a few seconds into this pull, oh, I did not expect him to do the hook that soon. But I'm going to use Fade to help reduce any kind of randomized damage I might take from either the Wave Shaper or the Raider pulling us in. I think I can just pop Desperate Pair just to be safe. Other than that, we're just kind of spamming here. Putting Atonements out. Get away. And then we'll throw a Powered Radiance out. Keep doing damage. I think that was a death to the Bolt. No, that was just a... I don't know if that's a frontal or the swirly he does. I'm not entirely sure. And we're going to stop casting right here. Okay. I was in global cooldown. I tried to interrupt it by... okay, yeah, it is a frontal that people are dying to each time because we're getting pulled in and then the frontal's happening at the same time. Now, these orbs, when I soak them, does it increase everybody's stuff? I think so. I think it increases the entire group's stats. Going on this next pull. I like to Mind Soothe this pack on the left just in case they don't intend to pull it. Just helps everybody kind of walk by it and stay in here without accidentally pulling it by walking the wrong way. Like we're going out here, so I'm going to walk out here. He's paints up on one of the DPS this time and not the tank, because it seems like a lot of the DPS are kind of randomly dying to targeted damage. Again, we're just kind of using it just to use it. There's not really a specific thing I'm using it for or anything, but when pugging, I like to just use my abilities early and often. So even here, like we pulled an extra pack, so I'm just going to Rapture and put shields on pretty much everyone. I'm just going to find something that's nice and healthy, so the Raider, we can watch those cast. As we get hooked in, we just penance and walk back out. Looks like we pulled another mob on accident. We're going to target that Enforcer. Try to get everybody nice and healthy here. Use another Pain Sub. Maybe even throw down a barrier. It's much less about panicking and trying to spam heal the group back up to full HP and more about just being proactive with using things that reduce damage taken. That's what's going to help your group in a lot of cases rather than sitting there trying to like spam flash heals on people when you don't have radiance charges and stuff like that. Something to be aware of. We go into this pack, we're going to target the Raider. Use Mindbender and then Mind Blast Penance as we walk out. Keeping everybody nice and healthy for those brackish bolts that get targeted randomly. I'll just press my Fade, just in case I get hit by anything, it'll reduce my damage taken. Another Radiance because we should be getting pulled in here in just a second. And there we go. I penance and walk out. And everyone's already pretty much full HP again. Radiance here to pick everybody back up. I'm going to save my PI for the boss probably since we're saving Lust for that, it looks like. If I want here, I can just Radiance again because we have the Shredder and he likes to jump out into range. Looks like something pulled. Don't know what that was. Sounded like it was my Void Orb, my Void Weaver Orb. I sure hope it wasn't, but might be the case. Wait till the Ellie Shaman is free from the boss, and then I will PI him probably. The hook, and PI the Shaman. Looks like the fixate's on me, so I'm gonna walk to one of these bombs. There we go. That was really awkward positioning. Penance as I walk out and try to grab some of these orbs. Like he's fixated on me again, and I'm already in the right position because I walked out kind of towards the bomb. That way if I do get fixated, I'm ready to run to it. If I would have ran out like this side over here, like the far side, I would have been completely screwed because the boss would have targeted me with the fixate, and I'd have to find a way to get all the way around to the bomb, and by then the bomb's going to explode. So that's something you want to be really mindful of, is always working towards the next bomb. Like right now there's no bombs available, so I just kite the boss around. There's ads coming up, so I fade. And then otherwise I'm just kind of walking around, and the boss should die before we need to worry about any bombs that spawn. That's it. So always be proactive. That's kind of what we're going over constantly here. It seems like that's kind of the theme, is being proactive with your positioning and your abilities and things like that. Especially when pugging. I think being proactive as a healer while pugging makes the job so much easier, because you're not reacting to people being, you know, I can't think of the word right now. It's unpredictable. People in your group being unpredictable. By being proactive, you help kind of alleviate that stress of, oh no, this person did something that I wasn't expecting them to do, and now I'm in a lot of trouble because I wasn't prepared for it. Because how can you prepare for something that's unpredictable? The only way you can is by just kind of assuming that it's going to happen, or kind of think of it being a possibility, if that makes sense. So I'm always using things as if something is going to happen or can happen. Paladin gets targeted by the charge, so I just throw a shield on him just to help out with the initial damage, and then we just heal the dot that's on him afterwards. Here we're just targeting the Wave Shaper. Actually, we'll target the Raider. He'll be more healthy and he'll grip us in, so. There's the hook. Also with these brackish bolts, if you have Plater, you can see who they're targeting. Like right there, it's on the Shaman. So you can kind of see if they're about to go off. You can, you know, help that player out, or know, you know, if it's targeting you, maybe press a defensive, stuff like that.
A stone to call forth.
Okay, looks like we can run ahead. The spotter here, that's the only thing with high HP in this group. Pressing everything to help do damage. It's a far charge. Gonna paints up the warrior here. He got hit by the charge. He pressed plenty of his own stuff, but that's okay still. Just as a nice recovery.
Do you see it? A stone to call forth the darkness.
Try to help out this Paladin a little bit. Just throw a flash heal and a powered shield on him, and then penance him as we're walking our way.
Captain Lockwood, our forces have lost control of the docks.
Target the commander. Maybe throw a few dots out here actually, and then target the commander again. I got hit, so I'm just gonna press fade in my desperate prayer. PI somebody, mind blast, and then just spam smites with the radiance active, and that should keep everyone topped up. Main thing I did there was like something, you know, unpredictable happened, where I got targeted, or the Paladin got targeted by the charge, and then we both kind of walked near each other, so we both got hit by the charge, which in a lot of cases one of you are going to end up dying. But instead I handled it by just being ready and pressing my defensives as soon as I noticed I was getting charged. and seeing that I was in the circle, and then working on healing the Paladin and keeping the Paladin alive rather than worrying about myself. I can pretty much cover myself with defensives, but I don't know if the other player is going to cover themselves with defensives. So it's more important to like not worry about healing yourself if you know that you can, you know, press things to keep yourself alive in the meantime, while you pick everybody else up. Fade for the fiery ricochet. Let me just penance or we radiance again and get everyone topped up. Phase here. Target the cannoneer here. Put an atonement on the tank. Get ready to target the boss, redot. Got shot on the paladin, so we're gonna pain sup him just right away. Throw my flash heal procs into him as well while we're pressing smite. And now we have another fiery ricochet, so I just radiance, mind blast, and then we're spamming into it. Basically just always using a radiance charge every time fiery ricochet happens. That's like the unavoidable group-wide damage. Oh, I think I was behind the boss a little bit and the frontal hit me, because the boss likes to do her frontal and it kind of hits in front and behind her. It has a very large hitbox, so I just wasn't being aware of where the... Oh, that is terrible. Oh my god. I can't believe I found a safe spot in there. That was so bad. There's so many overlaps. Go pick up this last orb before they expire. Refresh our buff. It looks like it refreshes it completely too, so it would actually be worth to just like sit and wait until it's almost expired and then pick it up. I have the hit here and a health pot because I got shot twice. Fire ricochet, I'm gonna use rapture and then shield myself because I'm the one taking like a lot of damage. Everyone else is pretty recoverable. And then we just, once I'm recovered, then I radiance and get everybody else topped up. And then that is it for that boss.
Heroes, Ashvane's forces are attempting to break through our southern wall. Stop them and
wait for this to go off. Tank just tanking it? Was he LOSing it all? That was so weird. And I think they nerfed these demolishers by like a lot, so you don't necessarily have to LOS them, but they probably nerfed them because it's not, yeah, even because it was tyrannical last week and they were still hitting super hard on non-fortified keys. Here with the demolishers, you can LOS their crushing, I think it's crushing stomp, which is going to happen here in a moment, so I'll show you guys. You can just pick like a building or a wall, and then as soon as they cast it, you just dip behind a wall and you take no damage. You have to be careful because the buccaneers throw bananas under your feet, so if that happens, like you get bananas thrown under your feet and you're right by the corner, you can't use that spot anymore because the bananas are going to be in the way. So I like to kind of stand off to the side, and then when the crush is going to happen, that's when I, you know, go in there. Just going to dot these up. Target the Tempest. Press everything because we're just kind of doing damage. These do randomized damage. But it's not too much. It's just the bolts, the water bolts, whoever they're targeting. It's like we're pulling the Demolisher, so I'm just going to tag that as the Tempest dies. If we're pulling some other stuff, I'm just going to stay not line of sighted. And then PI, oh, that was an accident. And then to PI the Shaman, didn't target anybody, so now I only get it. That's really unfortunate. That's okay. Next one I can definitely LOS. So this stomp right here, we just LOS it real quick. One little trick you can do with LOSing is like if you use penance, I can penance right here and then LOS, and it continues to channel the penance around the side. So whenever you're doing stuff like that where you have to constantly LOS something, just save your penance for it. That way when you dip around the wall, you can still effectively heal everybody while not taking damage yourself. Looks like we might be going into a big pull here, or the tank is just lagging really bad, I can't tell. We're gonna do our best to heal everybody. I think all of this stuff, yeah, the tank is just running in place. And I think other people have aggro right now, so this is not looking great. Silenced by that bolt. That is a long silence. Holy moly. Yeah, that's okay. Tank just DC'd. There's not much we can do about that. Hopefully it works out. Looks like he's good. Just was a little lag spike. Already in this, so I don't have time to really LOS, so I'm just gonna tank it, press Mind Blast, Mind Bender, and press all my buttons. Take everyone in the next pull. Paints up the monk here, PI the warrior, and then we are just doing a lot of healing here. I'm gonna use another Radiance charge so I can get myself with an atonement. We're just spam healing here. Probably get one more stomp. Actually, he might die before the next stomp. It's gonna be pretty close. We're gonna Radiance again just to make sure everyone's nice and healthy, because it does look like this stomp's gonna go off. We just penance as it finishes casting. Accidentally pulled those with the mob that ran away, so we're gonna use our health pot. Oh, my health pot isn't up yet, actually. I need to fix that still. Okay, well then in that case I Desperate Prayer and Fade. And then we're just using, I used Rapture and just put everybody with a little shield. It helps out a little bit. And then here there's not much to do. The only like little tech I can help with is if the spotter targets you. So the first thing is the ricochets. They're just, okay, of course it happens at the same time. So if the spotter targets you, you can stand in the same place until 2 of these things go off, and then you move out of the way. So you can stack 2 of the bombardments on top of each other and then move, and then stay still for 2 more, and then just move back to where you were. And it reduces the amount of like running around you have to do and stuff like this, where people will just kind of run around in circles and not do damage to the mobs and stuff because they're too busy. The other thing is that pack does ricochet casts just on random targets constantly, and it's really, really, really brutal. So you would just want to keep everybody nice and healthy as much as you can, and it's definitely not a bad idea to use cooldowns there and stuff. PI the Shaman here. I got targeted by the charge and I was kind of in the middle of talking and was also moving at the same time. So I just went ahead and pressed health pot for myself just to get myself through it. Looks like we're almost done with this pack. Pack again, like, is another one where there's a lot of kind of random bits of damage that can happen. So we're just going to use Rapture and just kind of get everybody a little bit of overhealing with a shield. And then we Radiance, and we're keeping everybody nice and healthy. Use a Powered Shield on the tank to help him catch up if he's falling behind. Oh, he just went into the entire group with that. We got a nice rally. We got a good defensive. We're going to throw a barrier down in there as well just to help out. Our goal is to get everybody topped up before the next charge happens. Use Powered Shield on the tank again. There we go. Now we just focus healing into the warrior, which I can just use a penance directly on him. And we had a nice little recovery. That rally definitely helped carry it, but either way, as long as we're kind of, again, like not super thrown off by things happening like that, where it's not like we're just expecting it to always happen, but we're like open to the idea that, you know, things like that are going to inevitably happen in a pug group, rather than it happening and me being like, oh my god, what a bad player, he just stood in the entire group and killed them all. Because we can generally recover it. In a pug group, you can generally recover things, even if no one is using any of their abilities. Like right there, the warrior just ran out and put the circle overlapping on me. That's fine. I am prepared for that. He moved, and then I moved out of his way. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's just going in with the idea that you need to have the expectation that people are going to make mistakes, including yourself. But when you're in a group with 4 other random strangers, the chances that they make mistakes is much higher than you making a mistake. So you need to go in there with that kind of expectation. These snipers just spam cast shoot on random people, and it hurts really bad, so we just want to keep everybody nice and healthy. Throw PI out, and also just use Power Word Shield kind of randomly. Have another Radiance Charge, so I'm just going to press it again early. Everyone's full HP, but I'm just using it just to help keep everybody topped up so that when they do take damage, I don't have to press that Radiance. It's already pressed, it's already good to go. And we can kind of focus the people that are a little lower HP that get hit by the shoots or take avoidable damage.
Do you see?
There we go. Now everyone's full health for the boss. Full boss. This one, just don't stand by the pillar in the middle of the room, because otherwise the break water gets cast and then you leave the stuff on the ground. The other thing, oh, I targeted the wrong person with that. That was my bad. I'm just going to use another Radiance just to catch back up. And we're going to have the title search, so this is where we can get in close because there's not another break water right now. We get on this side first. And then it looks like it's behind us, so we got to go all the way around. But then he immediately casts a break water here. Oh my god, I'm a goblin, so I'm swimming. This is so bad. That's unfortunate. We did not like to see that. Don't play goblin. And if I can find this person's body, I can res them. I don't know where they are. There he is. So we're going to have break water cast here. I'm going to kind of walk through this stuff. I'm going to try to get a B-res off on this guy.
To call forth the darkness.
There we go. For the B-res, I'm just using the engineering item that you can buy out of the auction house now. You don't even need to be an engineer to use it. And then we're going to the left here. Then we have another break water. So what you do here is you ideally want to dodge kind of far out like this, because then when he casts the break water, it puts it out here instead of on the pillar, because you want to avoid putting those spots on the floor by the pillar, because then it makes it a lot harder to move around and kind of maneuver around the pillar, especially since you have to do it multiple times now. You do have to be aware too, it's better to be stacked up. Like if there's already people there on the pillar, you might as well be with the group. Like there, I should have probably just been with them. Because if they're going to be standing there, then it doesn't help to put a second puddle somewhere out in ranged. So in that case, you do want to kind of read your group and see if they're dodging it, or if they're just stacking up by the pillar. Because if they're stacking up by the pillar, you probably just also want to stay by the pillar. Because like this, it's going to make it super awkward, especially when we, you know, get stuff like this going on. And a goblin jump over here. I'm surprised that I did not die there, or at least get hit.
A stone to call forth the dark.
You've done it! Without their giant Ashrane's
Looks like we still got time.
Enjoy your hollow victory, fools! Without the Volunteering fleet, you have now
And not get hit by any of these swirlies.
Allow me to demonstrate. Their gate has fallen.
Now this fight is amazing. The slams on the last platform, or the slams throughout the whole fight, don't knock you back anymore. Thank God. So this fight, the trick is, the biggest thing is you want to be dispelling on cooldown as soon as possible. Because the putrid waters, if you fall behind on it, you will wipe. So here we have another putrid waters coming out. I'm going to mass dispel these ones just to help out. So right here, I just mass dispel. Get us both, because there's a slam that happens at the same time, and that's pretty rough. We should definitely be killing this Demolisher first, and not that. That's okay. We have another Slam coming out, so I'm gonna Mindbender here, and then just Radiance. Could have timed it a little bit better, but that's fine. Press Halo, we Dispel, and then we're focusing on healing this other player. We don't need to worry about the Paladin who's low HP, we just need to keep this player full health until we can Dispel again. Then we Dispel the debuff off. Because whoever we Dispel is safe. Unless a Slam is happening, that player is going to be totally safe, and there's nothing to worry about. Only two things in this fight that can kill you are having the debuff, the Dispellable debuff, and getting targeted by the Slam. Like here, the warrior is out in the middle of nowhere trying to fire the cannon and has the Dispellable debuff. So we need to sit there and kind of baby him while he does his thing. And then we make our way over this way. Oh, that orb debuff is not fun. It just spawns in the water and you can't do anything about it. Dispelling. Shielding the warrior. Gonna put penance into them to help out. Gotta instant cast Flash Heal, and then I'm gonna get out of the circle and dispel them. Dying the Shaman here so that we can catch up, and then it gives me PI. It's gonna help with healing a little bit. PI one player, heal the other. Shaman pressed defensive here, so that's why I dispelled the Paladin first. You don't really have to put that much thought into it as long as you're doing it instantly. The faster you dispel in this fight, the easier this fight's gonna be. But since you can kind of min-max it by, like, if a player uses a defensive or has a defensive available, they should be the one holding the debuff. Like here, the warrior pressed Spell Reflect to help out with the debuff. They're going to take a lot less damage than if I dispelled them first and let the Paladin hold it. Here, we're just picking up orbs. It looks like they'll be able to get the majority of them, so I'm not too worried. Going to be ready to dispel here. I'll probably use Mass Dispel if I can. Looks like we're going to be all spread out all over the place, though. The tank has the other debuff, so we're actually fine. I'm going to save my Mass Dispel for when we get over there. I don't know why we're hitting the big boss here. But that's okay. We're going to dispel the tank. And then now when this... we don't get knocked back anymore, so we don't have to worry about getting knocked in the water. We have the Dispels coming out, so I'm going to be ready to Mass here. I'm going to Mass right about now. Get them both. And we're just using our Radiance, slamming a bunch of damage into this. We have another Slam coming up. I'm going to use Rapture for this one, so I just put shields on everybody before the Slam happens. So that way, everyone's nice and topped up. We have Putrid Waters coming out, so I'm going to dispel myself first, and then keep the Shaman alive. Again, Power Word Shield him right before that Slam goes out, just to help, because he's going to be the one that's in danger of dying when that Slam and the Dispel debuff is on him. Everyone else should be mostly fine, as long as they're full HP. Another Putrid Waters coming out, so we're going to press Radiance, just so that we're helping with the healing a little bit ahead of time. Always dispel other people besides the tank first. And then our Dispel's back off in 1 second. We dispel the tank. Looks like he's run into the loot box already, and that's it. We did it. That's the general idea with playing Disc Priest and just being proactive with your spells and things like that. It's a lot of playing around Radiance and Mind Blast as like your two primary sources of healing, especially when there's group damage and stuff happening. And we got a small upgrade too. We get rid of our Mastery Boots. Sweet. Alright, thanks for watching. See you guys later.